unlimited package on 3 is 36 gig or something.
Fucking hell.
36
Is it?
gig.
Wow.
And I went through that in a matter of well, obviously it runs over a month, and I went through that in a matter of like 14 days.
Wow.
I just got the text message this morning saying you've almost used all of your data. You need to buy more. And I'm like, buy more, mate. I'm on the unlimited data package. What the hell are you going on about? So it's a nightmare.
Have you not sorted the Wi-Fi out yet?
No.
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 Have you not sorted the Wi-Fi out yet?
No Wi-Fi yet. No.
Why? How come?
Because BT are to put it very politely, they're bellends.
Oh, mate, I would have got that. I don't know why you're still sticking around with them. I'd have gone somewhere else.
You can't change. The whole building
Really?
is hooked up by BT.
Oh, wow.
Can't change.
You're fucked. You're fucked then, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, they just
Wow.
they seem to be good. They seem to be really good at everything besides installing internet. Which is, funnily enough, what they actually do for their primary supply to the world, which is internet, and they don't seem to do that one very well.
It's shocking. Everything. The best one I've been was when I was at uni was Virgin.
A virgin.
A Virgin.
Yeah.
I talk and that. Everything goes to shit. Well, why are we talking about that, man? Like, who gives a shit? Hopefully, you haven't pressed record yet.
No, I have pressed record. We are going to keep this bit in.
People go like, what the fuck are we listening to here? Oh, it's all good.
Talking garbage. But yeah, I hope to get that sorted very soon, mate, because it is extremely frustrating.
Of course.
It's frustrating for uploading things like this as well, because I think that's where I'm going, where I'm hammering the data is just uploading videos and podcasts and blah-de-blah, but I've got to do it, haven't I? So
I can understand.
I'll just take the heat.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to let's wrap up the week. How's your past sort of week look like from last Thursday to now? Have you done anything exciting?
Okay, so was it Thursday?
You fucking bastard!
Friday or Saturday?
You went to London when I was in London. You didn't bloody tell me.
That was a late decision with the missus on this Sunday. We went about 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
We decided to go to like Oxford Street, and we were going to go to like the Science Museum and that, because I didn't realise it was free to walk around. I thought you had to pay to get in there. I didn't realise like the science and the nature was all free. I didn't know museums were free. I thought you had to pay.
The Tate Modern's free as well.
Oh, is it? I had no idea if you had to pay. So we went Oxford Street. I didn't spend anything though, because I was so tempted to, and it was quite expensive down there. So I thought, no, save my money.
What were you looking for?
I was just looking in shops, and I was looking at tracksuits and stuff like that, and I was just thinking, I need some new clothes here, just new hoodies and stuff. Yeah. And I was like, nah, let's not do it. Let's not spend £60 on shit when I can just get it for half price back at home.
Yeah, sure.
Had some food down there. I was just looking at sweets and chocolate and stuff. I was just thinking, well, treat myself to something. I thought, picked up those M&M, was it peanut butter ones, American ones? Oh, they were so good.
In M&M World?
No, it was in these candy stores, like American candy stores they have down there.
Or something.
Could be, yeah. They were like $2.99, but it was the best $2.99 I spent on sweets. So I wouldn't do that back here though.
Did you track him, or did you say fuck it?
I said fuck it.
I love it.
I was sitting there, I think I ain't fucking tracking these. I'm just going to enjoy it. So that was good. Had some food out as well. Also tried, what else did we try? Tried a few, like, just, I don't know, there was people handing out little bits and bobs, and I thought, I'll try a little bit of that. Just a little bit of taste testing in London. Sure. Not crazy. Tried with Nathan, what was it, last Friday, which was good. Yep. Apart from that, just the usual, mate, if I'm honest with you. Same old, same old. How about you?
Yeah, very similar now. Well, obviously, I stayed in London. We went down on Friday. We stopped off at Muscleworks in Orpington to train legs. I was extremely disappointed with the Arsenal Strength hack squat.
Oh, really? I noticed that.
It felt awful. Me and Danny both tried. We tried adjusting the foot plate. We tried just a few things. We only did 2 work sets, but we couldn't get it right. So it just felt awful. Basically what happened was is the foot plate was like kind of slippery when you went heavy, which is never fun. It's like your feet slipping around everywhere on the hack. And then also when you went down into the bottom of the eccentric, all your pressure from your foot went onto your toes. So you couldn't stay on your heels. I hate that so much.
Yeah.
I like to feel at the bottom of the hat like I've got confidence to stay on my heels, because when I go onto my toes, like, I feel like my hip is gonna blow or something. I don't feel confident at all. So I was disappointed with the hack. The leg press was really good. The leg press, you could go like properly deep without herniating your L5 disc. So it was good. Like, I enjoyed that session. It was a good session at Orpington. They have tons of kit. Like, if I trained there, I'd be too confused as to what to program, because they have so much variation of like every hammer strength piece and Arsenal strength pieces and blah de blah, that I'd forget to do the basic stuff. But it was a cool gym. And then we went into London early Saturday, spent Saturday and Sunday in London, did a ton of steps, like 30, 31k both days. Ate foods that I never usually eat, which was actually like fucking enjoyable, to be fair. It was nice to back off.
Of course.
Nice not to track for a few days. And just generally enjoy some time not training, backing off the gas, time with Danny. It was good. It was a really good weekend, mate. It was wet and cold though. It's freezing. It's warmed up the last few days for some reason. It's back to
Today's fucking warm.
It's alright.
I was like, wow, that's nice today, but it'll go cold again.
It's not bloody Baltic.
Baltic, not bloody Baltic.
But it was a good weekend. And then obviously back into usual routine this week. Picked up I think I've picked up a little bit of a cold. I feel alright today. You know when you you sleep odd and you start like sort of getting a bit hot and sweaty in the night, and I felt like that last night, and I was like, fuck this. So I'll just dose up on Lemsip today and appreciate that I'll look like a bit of a water balloon for a few days, because I don't react too well to paracetamol. I've always, whenever I ram in paracetamol when I'm feeling sick, I always look fine everywhere except my midsection. My midsection just so anyone competing, here's some actual good content from this podcast. Anyone competing, if you don't know how you react to ibuprofen or paracetamol or any painkillers, try to avoid them in like the final few weeks, because a lot of people will hold water off of those things. How do you tend to react if you have like a cold and you use paracetamol or stuff like that? Do you tend to hold water, or do you just look the same? Like,
to be fair, I've never really noticed myself. I'll be honest with you. One thing, it's not really noticeable for me. I kind of get away with it, and I've taken like 1,000 milligrams of it and been fine, if I'm honest with you. But one thing I do think is I rely on them quite a lot. With just, even when it comes to what I used to do is even if I had a little injury at the gym, I'll be just hammering paracetamol before I go.
That's not a good idea.
Just to cover, just to hinder. And then I'll start thinking, right, shit, this is not good here. I need to stop relying on paracetamol to get me through actual workouts, because I've got like a tight pec or something like that. Then I stop taking them and I seem to be all right at the moment. So
I don't think building reliance on any painkiller is a good thing.
Nah. Absolutely not.
I don't think they're too good for your. I don't know enough to comment on it, but I don't think they're too good for your gut. I think they can like wear down the lining in your gut and things like that. And I don't know, actually your stomach. I think a lot of people can get like really serious stomach issues from paracetamol.
Yeah. Yeah.
How's the JP hoodie? JP hoodie looks nice actually.
Yeah, it's nice. I ordered a size large and they sent me a medium. So sick.
That's
don't know how that works, but it still fits all right. Although I know JP or anyone, people asking me, George, what's the actual quality like? And I know JP's not going to watch anything like that. But the quality's pretty shit. Not going to lie, It's not the best thing I've ever bought in my life. Like, you can kind of, when you feel something on you and it feels quite thin. It's quite thin, quite cheap, like kind of cotton still coming out of it. Like, when you go Primark and you buy like their shit and you wear it, and it all this cotton just comes out on the floor. You got to get the Hoover out and shit. It's fucking nightmare. It's a bit like that.
But mate, honestly, I find that with Nike. Nike are almost worse. Like Nike tracksuits, like the actual cotton ones, they flake like fucking no tomorrow. So I prefer the slightly more lycra-y ones with the cuffed hem. Like they don't leak anywhere. But any of the Nike tracksuits that I've had in the past, they flake everywhere.
Yeah.
Shit.
So I think I'll give it a couple of washes, and I think the flaky bits will go. But overall, the quality, I'll be honest, if people want to invest in it, it's not the best quality in the world. It's just...
I'll title this podcast, JP's hoodies are shit.
Yeah. He'll
get
he
so
probably
many
wouldn't
views.
He probably wouldn't even bother watching it himself. He probably don't give a fuck, but loads of people probably will. But yeah, the quality's, I'll be honest, it's not the best. I was a little bit disappointed.
He should have teamed up with Monster or something, because their hoodies are sick. These are lovely.
Yeah, I know. I asked on Instagram last night, and people have been saying, I was looking, what was it, last night, at the Monster designs and stuff like that look awesome.
Yeah, they're cool. Like, they have loads of different stuff on the back.
Yeah.
So you look like a proper bodybuilder walking around with some sort of like giant creature on the back of your hoodie. But yeah, I've got exciting news obviously with Wolfwear as well. They're going to be teaming up with me to do the Be Epic hoodies. They printed a few initial designs, sent me them across earlier in the week. They're fantastic. Their hoodies are really lovely as well. Like, I wear extra large in the t-shirts and the hoodies, and they're just like really baggy, comfy fit. They're nice.
Yeah, definitely.
So really excited about that. They'll be on their site soon if anyone wants to grab any, and they're just being really helpful with the design process and wanting to give back to me and things like that. So it's good stuff.
Of course. It's always good to have that kind of... You'll be surprised what social media and stuff like that, how many people you can reach out to that will help you in regards to like designing stuff for you and doing little bits and bobs for you. It really does help. So I always appreciate people that come to me with that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I feel as long as I feel like they're like I'm giving back to them and they get like it's a reciprocal thing, like both ways are benefiting, then I feel it's a good thing and it's positive.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, sure.
Of course, definitely. I got bit. This is completely off topic, but we had obviously the dogs. I was going to say we had the delivery man come earlier, and the dogs grabbed the letters and stuff like that. And the dog actually bit me, and I'm bleeding a little bit.
Yeah, I can saw you at the start of the podcast dabbing the old finger.
Yeah, he's actually he's actually bitten me, which is horrendous. Quite a bad cut, actually.
You need to get some like Savlon on that before it gets infected.
Yeah, don't tell me that, mate. I don't want to get like a fat old thumb in the next couple of days or whatever.
No, you won't. That'll affect your pressing.
Oh yeah, don't even start, mate. I'll be absolutely upset about that.
Your pressing's going well though at the moment, isn't it? So you can't have a dog bite interrupt that.
It's finally going up. Like everything in regards to training and stuff like that it's been great this week. Like it's just like little increments, like the 2.5 kilos, the 5 kilos, extra rep here and there, better execution. It's just all getting better. Finally. What
would you say has been the main factor in that happening? Would you say that the slight rise in body weight, like where are you above baseline now, and do you feel like this is like a really good point at which you can sort of maybe hold this for a little bit and still keep progressing? Or
so I started my baseline at 152. I'm 156 and a quarter, so I'm only up 4 pounds. I was at 158 2 days ago, so I somehow dropped off a little bit. But I think that's just due to increasing body weight, all the progress, if I'm honest with you. Like, I haven't really taken up my food in the recent week or so. I just think, obviously, we know that our pressing will go up with just extra body weight. Like, I can feel my stability with the dumbbells. Like, normally when I'm lighter and I try and hold the usual dumbbells I'm kind of used to, the stability is a bit all over the place. Like, I'm a bit wonky, arms are shaking and shit.
Yeah.
But that just comes through body weight for me. I just find as soon as I take that up, I find they just feel lighter. You know when you pick up dumbbells and you think, oh, these are quite heavy today, or these are lighter. They just feel like lighter.
Yes.
As I take my body weight up.
Do you find that the hard reps move better, easier, better as well? Like when you're on that last few that will beat the logbook, they might be slow, but they still move, kind of thing.
Yeah.
As opposed to slow and then die, and then you hit yourself in the forehead with a 40-kilo dumbbell.
Yeah. I'm not sitting there, shaking. I can feel my elbows and joints all crushing. It feels a little bit softer, a little bit of padding, if you know what I mean.
A little bit more locked in.
Yeah, definitely, which is great. So, all in all, that's going quite well. I'm finally kind of progressing. I
Good.
always do that. It's really annoying that I can't seem to. I get into like a diet phase or a cutting phase or whatever, and I can't seem to get out of it and just like transition into a surplus. I'm always fluffing about for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and I'm just wasting time. If you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
just need to kick up the arse sometimes. Tell me stop doing this. And as soon as I get that kick up the arse, I'm like, right, I don't care if I had a pound or 2 pounds the next morning. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I just want to get bigger and stronger. You know what I mean? But
It is a hard
previously,
phase,
before
though,
that,
mate.
yeah, I can understand. Like your the psychological aspect of a diet phase really fucks you over so
Does.
much. Even if it's just 8 weeks or so,
Yeah.
you start like your thinking patterns and everything is just oh, I don't even know. I don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
It pisses me off because I waste my time.
Yes, like you start chasing things that at that moment in time aren't bringing you closer to the long-term goal. Like as physique athletes, we always need to think long-term. We need to think, okay, like why am I in this phase and what's it taking me towards? Your phase right now is capping off as much as you can from a muscularity perspective in terms of progression before you start what's going to be a long diet next year. You know, and if you kept dieting or kept holding 152, well, guess what, mate? You'd be stepping on stage at, you know, probably you're looking at the low 140s, maybe even into the 130s, you know, and you don't want that to happen. So for that not to happen, you need to maximize this phase in terms of muscle building, and you are doing that now, which is great.
Of course.
But equally, you can't afford to push up crazy amounts because you don't want your start point for 2019 to be too heavy. So it's a balancing act. I personally don't think you should. I don't think you should see above 170 before you start prep. I don't think you will because you're already. That would be another 15 pounds, and I don't think you're going to be able to whack that on before you want to start prep. If you can continue going at your current rate, I think 170 between 177 like low 170s maybe. That would maybe be a good place to start a prep. I think you'd still be pretty lean at that point and on good food.
I think I want to get up to a high body weight now and kind of sit there for as long as possible. Because what I found is that I get a lot more comfortable at that body weight, but also I find that I have like a certain body weight where I get my most progression.
Yes.
And I think at the higher ends of that 165 to 170 mark, I feel like my best progress in regards to energy levels, motivation, gym performance, progressions in gym, everything like that is at its peak, like is at its best.
Yes.
So ideally, I'd probably like to get there not as quick as possible, but probably as quick as possible. Not gonna lie,
as efficiently as possible.
Yeah. That's better.
Yeah, because you know you could quite easily get there super duper quick, but that weight would just be a lot of glycogen and water. You know, you want some of that weight to be accrued tissue, you want some of that weight to be regain of tissue, etc., and that's going to be more so coming from a long-term process. But yeah, of course. Sounds like things are going well, mate. And obviously,
how's things with you? How are you still dieting or what's?
No, I basically stopped the diet. The last week was pretty much last week. The deficit was just smaller. I started to raise food a little bit because it was kind of turning into, it wasn't really a mini cut anymore because it was, I think anything longer than 6 weeks is probably not really a mini cut anymore. It's more of a cut. So I basically did like a savage cut for like 6 weeks. So body weight is still fairly similar. I haven't actually weighed myself recently, but I can tell by looking in the mirror that I'm probably around about the same body weight as I was before London. I just haven't weighed myself because London was just like totally different foods, totally different steps, and then getting back into routine, like digestive system and things like that wasn't turning over as much as it usually would. Combine that with getting a cold, having a ton of paracetamol. I don't really want to fucking weigh myself, dude. So I'll weigh myself when this cold goes, and then I'll see where I'm at. But yeah, food wise has come up to roughly around about 3,000, and I think my current energy expenditure, which is anywhere between 10 and 12,000 steps, and obviously my training sessions are quite long, usually at least 2 hours of training with weights, 5 days a week. That puts me at about maintenance, and then my rest days are a bit lower. They're about 2.6, and they are higher fat they're not high fat, low carb. They're just higher fat because I like to try and get in some salmon and some basically some higher fat foods, so that by the end of the week I can keep my training day fats lower, and then my non-training day fats higher, so that my weekly fat intake is pretty standard. It's not low, but my training day allows me to sort of uptake food a little bit better and blah de blah. And I'm enjoying that approach at the moment. It means that I get some different foods on my rest day, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
I quite like that. And then obviously take a similar approach to yourself, in the sense that I backload the majority of my carbohydrates on a rest day. Yeah. So it leads into the next training day. Because I usually train about 2 p.m, so most of those carbohydrates will be assimilated by that point. And on a training day at the moment, given that calories aren't that high, I'm still putting a lot of my food around the training window. So not actually having any intra at the moment. I just haven't had it for a while for some reason. But I'll probably put that in soon. The only reason I wasn't having it, if you want the reason, is, well, when I was dieting, I just wasn't having it because it's a place to pull calories. I'd actually recommend, if you're dieting in a contest prep phase, you should keep it in for as long as possible. It's a really good tool for recovery enhancement, for performance retention, etc. But when you're in a mini cut and carbs are like super duper low, I'd probably just pull that. It's an easy 25 grams of carbs, or even more, to pull. I mean, at peak gaining phase, I think I was having like 100 grams of highly branched intra session. Yeah, that was too much, mate. My stomach was a little bit bloated off of that one. Especially with Pepto-Pro or EAAs with it. So, yeah, I'd recommend keeping it in at a minimum of like 25 grams of highly branched during a deficit, during a long cut. And then either Pepto-Pro or EAAs with that. And I usually put a bit of taurine in it. But yeah, I haven't really been having it because of the diet, and then also because of this. I left this at home. The funnel.
Oh, funnel, yeah.
So, using a bit of paper to put in a lot of highly branched cyclic dextrin just doesn't turn out too well.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I'll be adding that back in next week. My car's a fucking mess. Is your car a mess? My car's just full of bottles. Because I've got bottles. Yeah, the issue is, mate, I park in a car park now, like in a multi-story, which is like very, very close to the flat. But because it's not outside the flat and it's not super duper close, it's different to when you park at home. I never really carry everything back, or I never really unload rubbish out of the car. So the car is a fucking mess for me. Yeah. It is a mess. There's loads of forks in it. There's bottles everywhere. There's a blow-up doll. Nah. There's fucking shit in there.
I'm terrible for bottles and receipts. Oh, I love a good old receipt.
Oh,
just
I love a good old receipt.
A receipt, just flick over there. We'll pick it up soon. Fucking terrible for that.
Oh, I'll tell you what I had in London, mate, before we go on. I had, we love the coffee light frap.
Oh, yeah.
I tried the caramel one. I went for it. I fucking went in on the caramel one. It's 10 more calories. Because I wasn't tracking, I was like, fuck it. Let's go. Yeah. So, yeah, mate, it's banging. It's an incredible beverage. They put a little bit of caramel syrup on the top.
Oh, I noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that.
A little bit of a drizzle on the top. I was like, and Danny saw it, and it was freezing, so it was a stupid drink to have. I got like hideous brain freeze. But Danny saw it, and she was like, "What the hell is that?" And I was like, "Try it." And she was, her life changed in the moment. The moment that she took a sip of that beverage.
It's game changers. Those. So lovely. Yeah, I haven't had one in like a week, which is quite bad. Which people come to me like, "Oh, I love how that you told me about this drink and that." I was like, "I haven't told you anything. It's for you. You're the one that told me first."
It from? I don't think. Funnily enough, I don't think I actually got it from anywhere. I think when I went to Vienna, I was up early and I looked at the beverages on Starbucks and I was just scanning the beverages. I was looking through. I was like, "What? I really fancy something different over a black Americano." You know what airpots are like? They're a bit hot. They're a bit stuffy. I was like, I'm not getting a black Americano, so I thought I'll get the iced version. And I scanned the beverages a little bit more, and I thought, fuck it. let's go in on this coffee light.
Yeah.
And because I saw it at 120 or 118 calories or whatever it was, ordered it, and the barista sort of handed over the beverage. I was like, I looked at it in amazement. I was like, you know, what is this?
Yeah.
Took a sip, and that was basically it. Just
game changer.
Game changer. You know, that beverage was just fantastic. There is an account. On Instagram. But the issue is it's very American based. And I've forgotten his name. If I find it, I'll shout it out on the next one. But he does like loads of combo drinks that you can get from Starbucks for really low calories, and they look amazing. Yeah, they always look good, and he tells you exactly how to order it. But a lot of them are American based because they have tons of sugar-free pumps there. They have like toffee nut sugar pump, cinnamon sugar pump, like everything.
Yeah, and, I'm gonna have to make sure you send me that over. I'll have a little look at that.
Yeah, I will. When I find it, I'll let you know. Should we go through some questions? Have you got anything else to discuss?
I was going to ask you a question. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah, go
top
for
of my head. But now that you're transitioning into more of a gaming phase, what are you going to do differently this time round compared to? Because obviously we always learn when we go into a diet phase. We always learn new things when we can put into our surplus, and when we're in a surplus, we learn new things into it. It's always the case, but. True. What are you going to do differently this time compared to previous time? Or are you going to keep it the same, or what's your approach from now?
First things first, I'm going to keep cardio in on a rest day. I like that from a cardiovascular fitness perspective and a cellular health perspective. So I'll keep that in at 30 minutes probably, unless that needs to change. But yeah, I'll probably keep it in 30 minutes. Probably on the stairs because it's just the one that gets my heart rate up the most. So probably keep that in. Food choices wise, I'd like to avoid using a lot of the things that I had to use at the end. Like I was putting granola on my oats. I was having a whole loaf of saurine, which at the end of the day, you know, it's fine, but it's almost like 800 calories of stuff that's... You know, it's more processed than I potentially like to have. I'd prefer to stick to... And at that point, I started to feel like... Not only did I not feel that good, but... Like, digestion was fine, but I didn't feel that good. And I also felt like it didn't just... It created almost like a watery, inflamed look in the way that my physique started to look. Like, even the baseline level for me is like... Even my highest body weight should have vascularity in my arms. Like my forearms, not necessarily at my biceps, things like that, but in my forearms. I always have it, and when that goes, it's just sort of a sign that I'm quite inflamed, quite watery and bloated, and my face looks really fucking puffy at like 183. I just want to make like the next, whatever body weight I'm at over this next phase. I want to only increase body weight for the need of performance in the gym. I don't want to increase it just for the sake of increasing it. Because last time, I was like, if my body weight hasn't gone up this month, I need to push calories. But even sometimes those months, my training was going fantastic. So I didn't need to push body weight. So for me, it's more a case of now looking at the logbook and looking at the numbers and thinking, okay, do I need to increase body weight? That's another thing. I think I'd like to try on training days, instead of putting a lot of the carbohydrates around the training window, I'd like to see when the food gets a bit higher, I'd like to see how I feel from just sort of, again, preferencing the pre and post in terms of higher carb meals, but I'd like to see how I feel with carbs in most meals. I just want to see how I respond to that, because I did it before, and I think you tried it for a little bit as well. Because I did it before, and I also did it quite a lot of the time during prep, if I'm honest. I had a big carb meal for meal 1, and then meal 2 was carbs, post-workout was carbs, and pre-bed was carbs. I was only having and then I had a shake post-workout. So if you count my intra and my shake, I was having 5 meals, but 4 actual whole meals. But yeah, like that's what I want to do, is to just try that again, to sort of put in carbs across more meals. Like, of course, from a body composition point of view, like I like to preface that, you know, carbohydrates around training would be the best for just sort of making sure that we're uptaking food well, but I'd like to see whether I could get more performance out of putting carbs in other meals, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And just seeing how I feel from an energy perspective as well. Because I've sometimes felt a bit like groggy after eating carbs at meal 1, but maybe I was having too many. Maybe if I have a little bit less, I'll feel a bit better, but I think it's always good to be quite analytical with these things, and that's what I'll just take into the surplus.
Yeah, of course.
Makes sense?
I can understand that. Yeah, it makes sense, yeah. Just wanted to see if there was anything, you know, different, and you've covered it, which is pretty much superb. Yeah, we'll get into these questions, mate.
Cool.
I have a few, I believe.
Do you want to go first?
Give me a minute. Fuck. Oh, God. Okay, how do you adjust a bulking diet from when you're on holiday and taking a week off training? I hate these questions.
I mean, the thing is, if you're going away for a week, I'd say just prioritize that week as a phase just to like enjoy the holiday, and I'd put a primary goal around hitting your protein intake, but the other macro is like just try and hit your rough calories. I would hate it to see if some of my clients or this individual go on holiday and just use MyFitnessPal every day. Like if you're in a gaining phase, just relax, take your foot off the gas a little bit, take the weighing scales away for a little bit, and just generally chill out and enjoy yourself. That's what I would say. What about you, mate?
Of course, I'd probably say the same. I'd just probably keep expenditure high. If you're just, I don't know, it depends on what you're doing. Depends where you're going. I wouldn't, like you said.
Didn't he say he was bulking?
Yeah. I myself, I would keep, if I was going on holiday, and I'll still keep expenditure high because I know I'm going to be overeating most days.
Oh, really? Okay.
So that's my opinion.
I guess it depends where food is. Like, for example, he could be like on Josh Bridgman's food and like be on 850 carbs a day. There's no fucking way he's going to hit that on holiday. You know, like, there's no way. You're just going to have to change around your approach. Like, or Steve just went on holiday to Mexico, and I was chatting to him the other day, and he lost like 5 pounds and pretty much just started his mini cut because he was doing like 20k steps because you're traveling, and also he's on like, he's not going to hit his off-season food intake. But I guess, I don't know, like, I'll probably go on holiday again later in this year. And like if I go with Danny, which I will, I'm probably going to enjoy way more foods like that I just wouldn't have had before if I was on my own. So regardless of expenditure, I'd like to think that I'd be nailing in a good amount of food, like 4,000 calories a day, hopefully. Yeah.
Of course. I just, like you said, pretty much enjoy it, take your foot off the gas, don't worry about this, don't worry about that, and just not a lot's going to change within 1 week. If anything, you might be holding an extra little bit of water, and you'll go back down to normal for a couple of days. When you get back, it'll come off quite easily, I have no doubt. So just enjoy yourself, mate, if you're going on holiday.
Depends. Also, like, if you're doing another show or you're doing a show soon, take that into perspective, or you want to be lean soon, take that into perspective. I had a few clients go on holiday that were doing shows later in the year. Didn't turn out too well for them. Not at all. So you need to be you need to think long term. If you're doing a show and want to get lean when you get back, think long term, buddy. It's because you'll fuck yourself in the foot otherwise.
Yeah, of course.
I'll grab a question. Let me see. Wow, James Hollingshead's looking peeled.
Yeah, he's like 230, something like that. I remember off season he was 300 pounds. He's pulled off so much weight.
Too much.
And JP trying to get him on stage at 260 or something like that.
Not gonna happen.
No.
Not gonna happen.
That's the worrying thing about JP recently.
Ben asked. Ben asked, where do the lats attach?
Oh, fuck off. To be fair, that post, I thought, you know what, I can't bother so I just copied and pasted it, literally.
I bet you
word
did.
For word. And you fucking found it. You scroll through and found it. I was like, shit, I caught it, but
And you've said it so many times on your YouTube channel as well. Whenever you do that movement on your YouTube, you're like, guys, do not retract the scapula.
I see so many people do it wrong though. It's great. I want to say something, but I can't be fucked. I just want to see them do it wrong and just fail in life. It's quite bad.
Sure.
Really.
All right. Well, I'll answer this question because this is he said with a lot of natural bodybuilding being natural during the comp, with a lot of natural bodybuilding being natural during the comp, would you ever consider PEDs in your career? Well, I'm gonna answer that one straight away in the sense that if you use PEDs at any point in your training career, you are no longer natural. And if you want to compete in the natural federation, and you've used PEDs, you have to wait 7 years. That's bottom line. You can't, like, whilst some of the natural feds might have some supplements that might be banned in competition, those supplements are like found in pre-workouts. They're not PEDs. PEDs are banned. They are banned. Like, whether you use them 6 years out or 1 week out, it doesn't fucking matter. You're still not a natural athlete. So yeah, for me, like, I will not be using PEDs at any point in my career. I did actually answer this one on Josh Bridgman's Q&A yesterday that we did, and I said that until I win a pro card and then I win a world title as a natural in my weight category, I won't even consider it, because that's just like, for me to even think about doing it right now, I would have to be so confirmed that I'd have a shot at doing something like, I don't know, like getting a pro card as an IFBB. Like, that's what I'd have to have confirmed. And then, like, that's the reason why I think Josh is thinking down that route, is because he is at a point where he can get a pro card in men's physique. Like, grab the opportunity with both horns and go for it. That's my opinion on him, and I think I'm actually supportive of him doing that.
Of course.
I think he's doing the right thing. But for me, I've got such a long way to go to get where I want to be naturally, that it's not even in the question yet. What about you, mate?
I'm to be fair, I've
this
always
as well
thought
in the
about
story, didn't you?
I've answered this quite a lot in like videos and stuff like that. But I really want to do my first year as a natural athlete. I will never go. I'd never hop on like a sort of like a Brandon Harding kind of before his prep and hop on it. I wouldn't do that. I want to see where I am naturally and go, right, what do I need to do from here to get to where I want to do? Because I'd love to be a pro myself one day. I very much, I don't know if I could ever get to that level naturally, or even, but that's something I've always wanted to do. And I'm not saying I never will, but I don't know. My first year is definitely going to be natural, and then I'm going to see from there. But as usual, I will always be honest with people whether I do take that route or not. And yeah, that's all I've got to say about it, really. I've thought about it, but I'm still like, I don't know yet.
Do you think like from a look perspective, what do you prefer? Do you prefer the look that you could potentially achieve with assistance? And if you went assisted, would you chase the full-blown fucking IFBB pro look, or would you just do it to look a bit better than you can naturally? Like,
I would go, if I was going to do it, I'd go all the way.
Full-blown.
Full-blown. What's the point in looking... There's so many people that look natural but are on gear. What's the fucking point? Like, I mean, obviously there's so many things that come into play, but I would want to be like full-blown. I probably wouldn't be like IFBB pro size. Like, I wouldn't want to be 250 pounds. But I'd like to be like a 200-pound, 5'6" lean machine, if you know what I mean, something like that.
I'd want to, if I did it, I said this in the Josh thing as well. I'd prefer to be in the 212. I'd prefer to be a 212 pro.
Yeah.
Although that's still a pro, but yeah, you know what I mean. I'd prefer to be competing in 212 and look like the density that has like Flex Lewis and Sean Clarida have. Like, I prefer to be short and stocky than like, I don't know, I am probably tall enough to be an open, but I don't think I'd carry the muscle. Like, I don't know how these things work. I don't know how much muscle I'd gain.
Yeah, definitely.
But
yeah, who knows, man?
Worth thinking about.
Yeah, of course. I've got one. Actually, talking about, I don't know why I said Brandon Harden because I literally got a question on Brandon Harden.
Oh shit.
So we have a lot of followers that follow Brandon. What do you think on his recent? What are your views on Brandon Harden's recent conditioning at his show?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but it was good. I think he understands that he wasn't peeled as he could have been. I think he understands that there's more to take off because he does. I know he does follow me, which is quite nice. I know he does actually follow me. Like he does read my posts. He does watch.
Brilliant.
He does watch my stories. He actually asked me a question yesterday. I've got him on WhatsApp, so I sent him a voice note reply. But yeah, he's a good lad. He's a good lad. I think he's an alright lad. Obviously, we didn't have the greatest training session in the world. But he's a good guy, and I think he's got a good physique. He's got like all the shape, the proportions there, etc. He could get leaner. Of course, he could get leaner. But the issue is, and the issue that I had, and that I'll openly admit to him, is that he said in one of his vlogs, he said, I need to get leaner for my next show, which is in 2 weeks. And then the next video that he posted was him having a fucking giant cheat day. And like that's not conducive to the goal. The goal of getting leaner does not equal binging when you've got another show. And he really fucking hammered food. So no wonder now his most recent post is, I feel like I've not made any progress. Like, no shit, dude. No shit. You've probably had to lose like 10 pounds that you gained from that, cheat day that you probably partially did because of YouTube views.
Yeah, of course.
Which is a shame.
Of course. I think they
just save that for when he's fully done, which is going to be October. Like, just save it until then.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
Man, we've got so many clickbaity titles with this.
I know, man. Oh, let's get some views. Yeah, but from my opinion, I was quite happy with Brandon. I thought, he came in, and I thought he was a little bit. When I saw him on stage, I thought he was a little bit overspilled for his carb up sort of thing. I don't know, from what I've seen, a little bit, not too much. But then again, my point, the exact same point as you mentioned about how he said he did like a 10. Well, I don't know what he did, like food challenge afterwards. And it took him like a week to get that body weight off, and that's just fucking stupid if you want to come in leaner in 2 or 3 weeks whenever his next show is, the PCA in London or whatever.
Yeah, you're running into issues when you do shit like that.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
The reason why I got better show to show is because I never did that.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to get better, guys, do not binge, do not overeat post show. Get right back on it.
Exactly.
I think actually, to comment on Cameron, who competed against him, Cameron actually Cameron went the other way. So Cameron went, I'm going to get straight back on it. He got straight back on it, lost like 5 more pounds for the Manchester one, and actually just looked worse. He just looked like more depleted. Didn't look as full. And when he's a slightly small, like he's not small, but he's a smaller guy because he's competing against assisted people. He's a smaller junior. He's going to get robbed on placings for not being full. So, yeah,
of course.
Yeah, I think you just got to play to your strong points. But yeah, overall, Brandon, good guy. He'll hopefully bring a better package to the finals. I don't think he'll bring anything better to the London one if he's still doing it, because I don't think he'll have enough time to really just sort of bring down the binge. And let's hope he doesn't do some sort of wacky cheat day in London, because that'll just set him back even further again. So it's like a fucking roller coaster ride.
Yep, I totally agree.
Shall I take one?
Yeah, go on for it.
Someone wants to know your address. They can send you some posts so the dog goes skits.
Fuck's sake.
They're not having it. That's
not yet.
Not getting released. Let's pick a good one. Alright, so Keelan asks, after a 6-week dieting phase, funnily enough, I've just done that, what would be a good increment of calories to get back gaining with? So, what did you go... Obviously, you made the mistake initially of not raising enough. So, if I've kind of discussed mine. So, mine's gone up by 600-ish. what would you have done differently if you'd have ended your diet phase and gone back up the way you should have done, maybe gaining a little bit faster?
So what I originally did is I added about 250 calories. I added about 5 to 7 grams of fat, and it was like 35 grams of carbs, something like that.
That's too little.
And I actually got leaner. I got leaner.
Yeah, no shit.
I started increasing again. I added another 250. I started getting leaner. I was leaner with more carbs and less cardio, which was standard. I was like, fuck's sake. Yeah. Now I just bumped it up. I was like, right, I'm just going to do a big jump. So like sort of what you did, I took it up to about, from baseline, I took it up to about 700, 800. Started to notice that scale weight was going up. I was looking a lot better. And then I incremented from there. So for me, it took me, I went in 250 calories each time pretty much. Around about 30 carb, 5 fat, something like that. And I took up in increments until I started to notice a difference. And if, for example, if you notice that you're going downhill again, then I wouldn't fucking get used to that. Like what I was doing, I was like, oh, I'm actually getting lean here. This is quite good. I'm looking better. I wouldn't get used to that. I would still keep continuing to increase. Don't be sitting there and getting used to fucking, oh, I'm getting lighter with more calories. Because no, it's not good. It's not good. Yeah. So,
especially if your training performance isn't improving.
Exactly. Which mine wasn't.
Which yours wasn't. Yeah.
I was just looking better.
Yeah.
Which is fucking pointless right now when I don't want to look good. You know what I mean? I want to fucking get big and strong and all that kind of shit. So absolutely. Yeah, that's kind of how I do things.
Yeah, sure, makes sense. Let's do one more your end and then we'll wrap things up.
I'll try and make it good and don't want to make it just a.
Don't want to make it a shit one.
Okay. Can you explain about strength and hypertrophy workouts, e.g.? I don't know if I want to ask this one, but I will. He put, can you explain about strength and hypertrophy training workout, volume, reps, sets, etc.? That's a fucking bastard question to ask.
Bastard, you got another one.
Okay, are your sodium levels important? I'll go for the one I asked before.
Yes, absolutely. They're massively important, especially when dieting, because carbohydrates are going to be low. One of the factors in getting a pump is going to be carbohydrates. Another big factor is your water balance, which is affected by sodium, water, potassium. So getting in electrolytes when you're dieting, super key in terms of just keeping a pump. So yeah, I would make sure to salt the majority of your meals with like anywhere between 2 to 5 grinds of salt, and then just keep that consistent across the board. I personally just measure by grinds of salt. When I was actually dieting, I did actually measure out my salt, but I was having a little bit too little at that point. Because the only thing with grinds of salt is the grinds can definitely change in the thickness of the salt. I know that it doesn't make a huge difference, but if you're being pernickety about things, it probably makes a little bit of a difference, because especially when you get to the bottom of the grinder, the grinds of salt tend to be thicker. So I'd maybe measure it if you were dieting personally.
Yeah, I always weigh mine in grams. I always do. In my pre-workout, I always have a gram in my pre-workout, and my actual pre-workout drink, I do a gram in that as well.
Okay, yeah.
And throughout the rest of the day, I'll just do a few twists and turns. I do, and I don't know why, I just measure my pre-workout, my actual pre-workout drink and pre-workout food.
Yeah, so you know it's consistent.
Yeah. That's the only measurements I do, but the rest I'll just put as much as I feel like is just necessary. Yeah, just a little bit of that, you know. 2 ounces as well. Yeah, 2 ounces as well. Yeah, big girthy old fucker as well.
Rinse it.
Yeah, rinse it. Literally, I'll get a little quicker like that when it's stuck. I'll get a little. Oh yeah. Proper light into it. Yeah.
You just lube it up as well, like wax some fairy liquid on your hands or something.
Really enjoy it. And when I actually need to kind of, you know, get the last bit out, so I kind of really want to put efforts into my hands, so I hold it in my mouth and I literally like that. Brilliant.
What a fantastic way to end the podcast. If you're listening on audio, you just completely fucking missed out. You need to watch this on video. You need to scroll back to this bit and watch your video.
I told you I just did that. That's okay. Okay.
Incredible stuff.
I'm not too impressed with you, dude.
Nah, sure. Right, guys, let's fucking wrap this weird podcast up. Thanks very much for watching as always. Make sure you repost us, reshare us in your stories, and tag us in it all. We always appreciate the support. George is releasing a ton of content recently on YouTube, so make sure you check out all of his stuff. He's being very consistent with the old uploads, so it's good to see. So make sure you're checking out YouTube for George as well. I'm sure you guys all are. And yeah, we'll see you next week. As always, if there's anything you want us to cover, use the Instagram stories. It's the best way to do it. And yeah, cheers, buddy.
Yeah, appreciate it as usual, AJ, mate. See you in a bit.
All right, in a bit, guys.
See you in a bit.
Bye.